Laughter, lessons, journeys unfold. The VM network, let the stories be told. VM network, it's your time to tune in. Stories that connect where we all begin. Laughter, lessons, journeys unfold. The VM network, let the stories be told. The VM network, let the stories be told.
Good morning. It's a chilly Saturday morning on here in 031. Ikamalamu andile wagatube. It's matube_mbuyaz on all social media platforms. And this is Voices of the Art on Voice on the Move Network, our new baby. You might be thinking, what exactly is Voices of the Art all about? It's all about sharing the journey and the challenges of creatives, artists within the entertainment industry. And this is definitely the platform where you can share your story freely as we speak on some of the challenges that you might have experienced. If you're an artist out there and want a platform to do that, please do send us an email. It's studio, is STUDIO @vmradio.co.za. You know what? I am so excited this morning. We have a special guest who goes by the name of Daniel John. Definitely a man with many, many, many talents, a triple threat. He's a sportsman, he's a musician, as well as a civil engineer. We're going to have such an exciting conversation with him, especially because he comes from a very musically inclined background, with his father being one of South Africa's top trombonist and his mother being a cellist. So it definitely runs through the blood there. Please don't forget to follow us on our various social media platforms. It's Voice on the Move Radio live across the board on YouTube, as well as X and Facebook and Instagram. But we're currently live on YouTube. Please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Also, click on the notification bell to get a notification each and every single time we go live. We also welcome your comments, just in case you have anything you would like to share, any questions you have for our guest this morning. But for now, here is Daniel with Love.
Girl that I couldn't resist. She had given up on love, but she knows it exists. And back to the start, we're discovering you, to find the meaning behind everything we've been through. We used to stare into each other's souls, and now it feels we're deep in something that we can't seem to control. Confronting what we thought we'd never see, in a place we thought we'd never be. In a place we thought we'd never be. And through the sunshine and through the rain, I'll go wherever. Take us away, girl. Take us away, girl. And in our own dreams we'll float away through zero gravity. Why does it have to be this way? All communicate,
Take us away, not much to say, but I'm lost in your eyes, like I'm stuck floating in space. Your arms around me tight, the only time that I feel safe. Does it have to be this way? You going through changes, just another day, I miss your fragrance, I'm shameless. I'm sick of love. Up, around 2 a.m. I'm way too lit, you know how I am. And night after night it gets colder, carrying your love on my shoulders. I need some room to breathe, I I need some space to be me, I can't worry about you. You gave me everything, I cannot blame you. Let our love rest in
And
peace.
through the sunshine and through the rain, I'll go wherever. Take us away, girl. Take us away, girl. And in our own dreams we'll float away through zero gravity. Why does it have to be this way? I'll communicate. And through the sunshine and through the rain, I'll go wherever. Take us away, girl. Take us away, girl. And in our own dreams we'll float away through zero gravity. Why does it have to be this way? I'll communicate.
That was Daniel John with the love. Absolutely love the mood of that jam. If you just tuned in now, this is Voices of the Art exclusively on Voice on the Move Network. We are currently broadcasting live on YouTube, so do run along and join us there. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Also, click on the notification bell to get a notification each and every single time we go live. We also embrace your comments. We'd like to know how your morning is so far, and if you have any questions for our guest this morning. Talking about our guest this morning, we are joined by Daniel John. Good morning, Daniel.
Good morning, Andila, and good morning to your listeners.
How are you doing this morning?
Yo, great. What a fantastic morning. It's my favorite weather. It's overcast outside. It's pancake weather. I'm preparing for a show this afternoon, so it's a good day.
Oh, that's good. We got you up nice and early, and you were telling me behind the scenes that you barely got any rest.
Yeah, true. That's unfortunately the nature of my work, but everything is a blessed situation, so no complaints.
That's good. That's good. For those who might not know who exactly Daniel John is, please do introduce yourself to the listener.
Yo, well, my name is Daniel John, as you've now heard. I am based in Pretoria. I am a family man. I love having friends. I love being busy. I am also a structural engineer, but above all things, I have a massive passion for music. It's what drives me. It's what makes me excited every day. It flows. I would like to say it flows through my veins, but I guess that is for the listener to decide.
You know what? I would definitely say that it definitely flows through your veins, especially because you come from a musically rich background, right? Your father being one of South Africa's top trombonists, and your mother also a cellist. So I can see that music is definitely something that is within your environment. So how was it like growing up in that particular environment, and how has it shaped you as a musician and your identity?
Well, it wasn't always sunlight and roses. I think at a young age, my brother and I got forced sort of into doing music because it was something, as you say, that ran in the family. Um, so, a young boy's dream is not always to be a musician and sit and play the piano and do that. It's to be a sportsman. So, at a young age, it was quite challenging. Wanting to be outside and with my friends and playing sports rather than sitting at the piano learning scales all day. But I think as I grew up and was exposed to more, in terms of the music industry and what you can actually do, and then leaving high school and going into varsity and maturing, I'd like to say. And realizing what a gift music is, and to be able to play an instrument and perform for other people is quite a gift, and not just to the person who's listening, but to myself as well. And I think once I realized that, it was tickets for me, nothing else really mattered.
Yes, it definitely shows that it's something that you embraced and you ran with it. As we are going to delve deeper into your particular journey within music. So, you're someone who studied abroad, right? You just mentioned that you are also someone who is a sportsman who enjoyed sports. What sports what sport rather, did you do?
Goodness, well, it was every sport that I
Every.
could get my hands on to. But I would say just after high school, I'd always been in love with football, and after high school, the challenge was figuring out, what exactly to do with your life. You come out of high school and it's, doctor, engineer, whatever, lawyer, and amongst other things, and those really didn't speak to me, ironically enough. Um, but I kind of decided, well, while I've got this space, I'm going to give football a go, and really worked hard at that, and played in an academy here at home, and then got the opportunity to study abroad and play in America. So I got a 4-year scholarship there. Only went for a year because of a whole bunch of things that happened around at that time, but. Yes, I ended up studying a little business degree there at Lindenwood University and playing soccer at the same time. And it was, with all things considered, one of the best years of my life.
Oh, definitely. It sounds like such an adventure that you had over there. So, as someone you just mentioned had studied abroad, how do you think South Africa's cultural and musical diversity has influenced your direction, especially in contrast with what you experienced in Missouri, as you were in Missouri, right?
Yes. Well, yeah, it is definitely got an impact. I mean, South Africa, or Africa in general, is a massively colorful, vibrant environment, And going over to America, everything was, not that there's anything wrong with that style of music, but it is generally just, hip hop and pop that gets played. Whereas in South Africa, it's very diverse, and you've got a taste of every little thing. And I think when you close your mind to one genre or one style, you close off what is possible in your own genre. While you might be producing or recording music in a specific genre, it's worth listening to anything else that you lay your hands on, because it all feeds into the style and the art that you create. So definitely it was a contrast.
Yeah, let's speak about genre. You kicked off your music career with the deep house, right? Very interesting.
Yeah.
When you were in high school, so you're someone who worked alongside a record label. How was that experience? How was producing a deep house at that time, as well as working alongside a record label at a very young age? Must I say?
Yes, well, it seems like very long ago that happened. It's it kind of, producing music is difficult. To understand that I heard a saying once where they say, um, it's not rocket science, it's music production. So um, producing music was very difficult at the time, and what a friend of mine and I discovered was you could download this software and just make beats, and that took out the difficulty of producing, full production style music, and we just started running with that, and one thing led to another, and we were just producing deep house music, and it was in our sort of own little style, which was super fun and fulfilling.
Yeah.
And with that, I'm a very ambitious kind of a person. When I do something, I don't sort of just play around with the idea. I like to go all out. It's just in my nature, and I kind of decided, well, I'm giving this deep house music thing a go. Let me go all out with it. And I produced a couple things, and I sent them out to a bunch of record labels around South Africa. And one of them got back to me and took my music, and that's how that happened.
How was it working with them? Were there things that you learned throughout the process of working with the label? Any mistakes or challenges that you experienced, especially because you were very young at that time, and I'm sure you were just making music because you enjoyed it. But then you discovered the business end of making music, especially alongside an entity like that.
Yes, well, you've put it pretty perfectly. I think when you create your art, and thinking back to when I did this whole season of my life, was you create your art and you're so proud of what you've done, and you're in love with that, and you're so naively in that space. Whereas the reality of the world is people want to get your money. So you
True.
know, I thoroughly enjoyed the process, but it definitely opened my eyes up to the fact that if you are not, awake to what is going on with your art and the environment that you're in, people can take advantage of you, and their modus operandi is to take advantage of you. And even if they aren't, that's you've got to sort of think in that way, because you've got to be ready for whatever people throw at you in music, especially. So it wasn't always, again, roses. It was challenging, as I say, because people are not always as honest as the artists. So it was definitely challenging, but all in all, a super huge blessing.
Yeah. Are you? Uh, would you like to share maybe some of the challenges that you might have gone through specifically? Maybe even one. What particular challenge that you went through,
Yes.
and how now at this particular age would you have approached that particular situation?
Yes, well, one of the biggest challenges that I'm also currently experiencing at this point in time, with my latest singles, is that you don't know anything. And the music industry is a massive maze. It's not just something you can somehow go onto Google and start researching about. You've really got to do your homework to know what's going on. And because of that, it's an industry where when somebody really knows what they're doing, it's easy for them to take advantage of you and exploit your art, right? Because at the end of the day, by going into business with other people, they make money off your art. It's not just your money, right? So I think the biggest challenge for me was sort of working out, well, how do I do this by myself and not rely on these supposed professionals who are saying that they can help you. I think you really have to do your own work in knowing where you can find your music and where you can find the statistics and where you can find how much money it's making, and then I'd say the second biggest challenge is relying on people to be honest. So, they could say it's streamed 500 times, where in reality it's streamed 1,000 times, and you're none the wiser when you're a young artist. So, those are the challenges. I haven't worked out to get over those hurdles just yet. I think
Yeah.
trusting the Lord and doing my own homework, that has served me as well as it can for now.
Is there a way that you think that an artist can work hand in hand fairly with the record label? Or is there someone who's always gonna uh, take more than the other?
Yo, I would say the only time you can trust a record label, and this is not to throw shade on anybody,
Yeah.
but the only time you can really trust the record label is if the record label is owned by your mother. Other than that, don't trust them as far as you can throw them. Again, it is a business,
Yeah.
Andile. It is the bottom line. What they can make from you and what you can make from you, and um, I think it's important to realize that as much as they do their job
Yeah.
in getting your music out there and stuff, it's important to remember, as the artist, they need you far more than you need them. You know, you are the artist. You bring the art. You create the work that gets sold. So remember, there's power in that. There's a lot of value in that, and in the same breath, not being too arrogant, having humility in the work that somebody is doing for you as well. But more directly with your your question, I think trust nobody but the Lord. I'll say that.
Yes, definitely. And mothers out there, please do start up record labels so you can save your kids. So let's
Yeah.
dive straight into your music now. You released last year, not last year, in 2023, Hold On in September. And it was recognized in Writer's Pick of the Month. Congratulations with that.
Thank you.
What was your inspiration around that particular song, and why do you think it resonated so much to the listener?
I've been asked this question many times, Andila. I think I have a different answer every time. Um, but I think it was at a time when, yo, if I look back, it was really 2023. That was a long time ago. It feels
Mm,
like just yesterday. But at that time, yo, I was in a really challenging space. I was going through some emotional transformation and growing up in a big way. You know, I've always been a very again a diverse individual, wanting to try many things, but growing up and having to get a job and be responsible with what I do was sort of took time away from me being creative and sharing my time with different things that I really enjoy. And with that, I got a little bit depressed in that, you know, being in this world of having to work and having to be responsible and having to be really clear with my goals and objectives, whereas I'm traditionally a very creative, open-minded person. And it was, you know, engineering is not something I typically thought I'd ever be doing. So once I started it, it was also very energy draining and yeah, not a happy time. But I sat down and just started writing songs in connection with this whole thing, and that's where Hold On sort of came from. You know, this wanting to have more or do something that speaks more to who I am, and not finding it, but then realizing when I'm sitting with the guitar doing just exactly that, I can hold on to just that little bit of happiness and find joy in that, and sort of find a way to, you know, overflow that joy into everything I'm doing. I think that's where the song came from.
absolutely beautiful song, absolutely beautiful message at that we all need something to hold on to during our time of need. If you just joined us now, this is Voices of the Art on Voice on the Move Network, our new baby, where we share the journey of the creative, of the artist. So if you're someone that would like to share your particular journey, do send us an email. It's studios, studio, at vmradio.co.za. Today, we are joined by an absolutely amazing young man by the name of Daniel John. Like I had mentioned at the beginning of the show, a triple threat he is. He is a sportsman, an engineer, as well as a musician. Music is definitely in his blood due to the fact that his father is one of South Africa's top trombonist, while his mother is a cellist. So we're having a very exciting, interesting conversation with him this morning. But for now, we're going to go straight into what we had spoken about. Hold On by Daniel John. That was a beautiful one by Daniel John. It's Hold On. Still tuned into Voices of the Art, exclusively on Voice on the Move Radio. For those who might not know who exactly I am, igama lami Andile Wawadube Matube underscore Muyazi on all social media platforms. We are currently broadcasting live on YouTube, so don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Also, do click on the notification bell to get a notification each and every single time we go live. Please don't be shy. Don't be shy. Do send through your comments or any questions you might have for our guest this morning. What a beautiful one, Daniel. Absolutely love that jam. Hold On, especially that you were speaking about a journey that you were currently experiencing where you were having a very tough time. But your music can, that particular song can definitely resonate with a journey that many of us tend to go through, especially after COVID and some of the struggles we are having as a South Africans due to some of the things that are happening politically, socially, so on and so forth. Definitely a beautiful one. Daniel, do you think if you weren't in South Africa that your music would have grown more than it has now that the fact that you are currently releasing your music in South Africa, maybe if you had a more international audience?
Well, I don't know. I think the world is big. I
Yeah.
think people like to think it's always greener on the other side, but it's all fair for me to say maybe I would have had more exposure, but I wouldn't have met the people I've met along my journey here, and nothing is impossible, just be I was just thinking the other day, we are so quick to think I want to be the biggest this in South Africa, the biggest this in South Africa, and the world is such a way that it's no longer these small little areas. It's you have access to the whole world. It is entirely possible for me to be the biggest whatever in the world, but come from South Africa. It is all about the amount of work you put in and how driven you are and how passionate you are about doing that, and then having the patience to trust the Lord to do things in His time frame. So. Yes, it is entirely possible to assume that maybe things might have gone differently, but that might not necessarily mean for the positive. So
Yeah.
I'm very happy being in South Africa. that
Are you,
answers your question.
oh, that's good. That's good. We're also very happy that you're here. Are you happy with the pace that your music is growing?
No, I am again very ambitious and driven. I want things to happen now, now, now. But
Yes.
that's the thing about patience is I think you know everything is going to happen when it needs to happen, and I'm completely happy with trusting that while also striving for more. So um, I'm also I think blessed that things could just explode overnight, and then things happen so fast that you sort of just it's like a train that goes past at the speed of lightning. You don't get to actually look and enjoy the train. So um, again, I want more. That's true, Andile, but I am definitely enjoying the process and where I am now.
That's good. You seem to be someone who refers a lot to faith, right? I saw on your Instagram, on your bio, that you wrote to give everything that is woven into you in such a way that it points to Jesus. How has your faith guided your music and your mission as an artist?
Yes, wow. So, the first challenge I had was being Christian, and thinking, "Oh, but I'm not making worship music, So, does this please God? Does this please Him?" And I had massive battles with that. Having this gift that He's given me to make music, and in such a special, unique way, and then having this battle of, well, it's secular, as people would say. So um, I struggled with that quite a lot, and wondering, is this the right thing? Am I doing the right thing? Should I just be making worship music? And I had lots of chats with my mom about it, and it was the chats we had were reinforced. I went to Passion earlier this year, and Louis Giglio was the pastor at that function, and this was one of the things he said, that in everything you do, everything that is woven into you, give it so that it shines a light on Jesus. And it was sort of an eye opener for me that it's not necessarily about what you do, besides doing things that are obviously not cool, but it's not necessarily about what you do. It's more about how you do it,
Yeah.
and God has given people talents to do certain things, and the goal is not to use those talents in a specific way, in a specific field. It's how do you use those talents to best shine a light on who He is, and I kind of came to the realization that I've been given this gift, and I have this desire and this want to use it in a certain way, and I to stamp on that and put that fire out just to do it in a specific way is kind of counterproductive in my mind.
Yeah.
So I I do what I do, and when I get the chance, I show who He is, and that's the excitement for me.
That is absolutely beautiful. Have you struggled with your image on social media at any point? I mean, I'm sure there's some pressures to follow some certain trends, or say certain things, or dress a certain way, or look a certain way. Is there any point where you were like, I think I might just try this, but then you went back to your faith and you saw that, you know what, let me just be myself, and all will follow after that?
Um, that's a heavy question. I don't know exactly if I can answer it perfectly, Andile, but I will say, I think as anybody, I've struggled with sort of staying on the 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 good road, but in terms of who I am, and staying true to who I am, and not following trends, I don't think I've really ever struggled with that too much. Uh, yeah, I don't know.
No, no, I
It's
understand.
not
I
something.
understand.
Yeah,
No,
it's I always found it. If I can say this, I always found it easy to weigh up right and wrong. And I've always had a very strong sort of compass towards what is right. And thank goodness, because I think boys can be naughty. So
Yes.
thank goodness I've had that in my life.
Yeah.
And then also being exposed to God um, from a young age in a way that is not sort of forced down my throat, is gave me this opportunity to explore it myself, really, and discover who he is in my own right. And I think that, together with everything, gave me this kind of sort of moral compass to say, well, I know who I am, I know what I believe, and that's good enough for me. You know, if I'm not following the trend and you think that's uncool, then it's sort of irrelevant to me. You
Yeah.
know.
No, that makes sense. That makes a lot of sense. So let's dive into your latest release. Very exciting one, On the Run. So let's delve into rather the creative process when creating this particular artwork, as well as what message were you trying to speak to in terms of that particular song?
Yes, well, this was very similarly to Hold On, a song about, being in a space that I didn't want to be in, and trying to find happiness where I am. It was, again, about being an adult and having to pay bills and doing things that are not fun. Um, and then thinking back onto to times where, perhaps you first fell in love, or you had your first ice cream as a kid, or sleepovers with your friends. Moments that are supremely happy and full of joy. And the idea was to take those moments and sort of wanting to run away to those times. Um, that was the idea of the song.
Yeah. No, that is absolutely beautiful. You've been releasing many singles. Can we expect a full body of work uh, maybe this year from you? Have you been going through some ideas or themes that you might want to encompass in this particular full body of work? Any features that you might want in the future? So how does that look like in terms of an album?
Yes, well, we are, I don't know how you want to put it, either unfortunately or fortunately, in the TikTok generation. So
Yeah.
everybody wants everything now, 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 and to be, sort of fully processed into this quick body of work. And unfortunately, with that, I think at this point in time, singles are the way to go
Okay.
for me, until I've got some kind of standing in the industry. I I am at some point wanting to release an album that fully shows who I am. I think with all the singles that I've released and the two that are coming, it's sort of me exploring the industry, what the industry wants, and balancing who I am. I don't think I've quite struck that balance yet. I think there's a lot more to show for who I am, rather than just following the narrative of what the industry wants. But in terms of a full body of work, there is nothing on the horizon for an album yet, but there is lots of music coming, and very cool, sort of similarly to how I found where I am now. Different ideas and different genres and different styles
Yeah.
and different sounds. So there is definitely lots to wait for.
Yeah, I'm definitely excited for that, especially because you said there's a lot that's coming. So I can't wait to hear what that might be. So you had mentioned that you're an engineer and you're also a musician. How do you balance those two worlds, especially because they are so demanding and they need all that you can give to those specific industries, right? And have you ever found yourself maybe using some of the things that you've learned in engineering in your music in any way?
Yes, well, as you say, Andile, engineering is on one side of the spectrum and music is on the other. Very left-right brained difference between the two. I think with my engineering background, I am able to sort of solve problems in a very unique way that we are taught in the degree. And I think when it comes to music, it's difficult to sit down and write music and come up with ideas and solve puzzle pieces that have to fit into where the lyrics go and things like that. And I think my engineering has definitely um, helped me in sort of thinking outside of the box and putting things where they necessarily wouldn't have gone in a traditional sense, but um, being an engineer helps me to do things in different ways. So I think definitely it helps me in the full process for sure.
Oh, that's good. That's great. Any last words that you might have to the young, up and coming artist who's out there in high school making deep house, who's producing music and really wants to go into the music industry? How would you advise that particular person, especially because you are balancing school as well as music? Most people just go head first into music without having a security blanket like you do. So how would you advise a young person looking into going into the music industry?
Well, Andile, I think the first thing I'd say is that it is hard. Music is not easy. It is a difficult industry. But uh, I think the most valuable piece of advice I've ever gotten is from my mom. She said, your music is a gift. It is a gift you give freely to everybody who wants to listen to it. Um, if they do not like it and they don't want to listen, it's completely okay. It is a gift that you have given. It is not a show on who you are as an artist. And I think once I really understood what that, it's still difficult for me, but once I understood what that saying really means, it takes the weight off your shoulders of having to perform and be something specific. You are who you are. You have been given a gift to create something according to yourself and what is woven into you. So remember that. Remember, it is a gift that it is from who you are, and if you put the work in, it will all fall into place.
Yes, they will definitely all fall into place. So, for those who want to hear more from Daniel John, where can they listen to your music or just get to know you a bit better? Your social media platforms.
Yes, well, I say this all the time. I am one who loves to chat. So if you want to talk to me, I am on TikTok and Instagram on at Daniel Johns underscore music. And I am on YouTube. And I genuinely mean that, Andile. If somebody wants to go onto Instagram and send me a message and talk to me, I love that sort of thing. I absolutely love connecting and chatting to people. So please, if you want to chat to me and find out more about me and what I do and potentially become a fan, those are my socials at Daniel Johns underscore music. Do not be shy. I do not bite. So yeah.
If you haven't been convinced yet to become a fan, definitely give Daniel John's music a chance. So, Daniel John, we're about to wrap up the show with your latest release. How would you introduce this particular song?
Oh, I always say the same thing. It is the kind of song that makes you want to dance in the shower and sing in the car. Enjoy.
Thank you so much. You're tuned into Voices of the Art on Voice on the Move network. We're streaming live on our various social media platforms. It's X, Facebook, as well as YouTube. Do become a part of the fan. This is our new baby. And absolutely enjoy this conversation with Daniel John. For those who don't know me, Kamalamu Andile Dube. Matube underscore Mbuyaz on all social media platforms. Here is On the Run by Daniel John.
Coming home, got no money in my pocket. I told myself long ago I would stop it. I lost the phone and I'm wondering did I like it. I'm scared of what my mom and dad'll think of me this time. Time is slipping through my fingers quicker than I'd like, and I can seem to tell where all my clothes are getting tight. There must be something in the water that I drink at night, 'cause even getting out of bed for me is such a fight. I don't know what I'm gonna do to make it through. I don't know where I'm on my way to. I wish I could go back to the days where having the dream was good enough. I wish I could get back that feeling of finding my first love. I wish I could dance till the sun comes up and slow it down when things get rough. I wish I could go back to a time when we were never on the run. Every day I seem to lose more of the friends I had, and I can never seem to keep up with the brand new fad. My mind is filling up with things that I can't understand, and all my memories are filled up with a deep regret. I don't know what I'm gonna do to make it through. I don't know where I'm on my way to. I wish I could go back to the days where having the dream was good enough. I wish I could get back that feeling of finding my first love. I wish I could dance till the sun comes up and slow it down when things get rough. I wish I could go back to a time when we were never on the run. Never on the run. I don't know what I'm gonna do to make it through. I don't know where I'm on my way to. I wish I could go back to the days where having the dream was good enough. I wish I could get back that feeling of finding my first love. I wish I could dance till the sun comes up and slow it down when things get rough. I wish I could go back to a time when we were